They're suing me for something I didn't do.
Jake Paul just dropped a bombshell on his brother Logan Paul's podcast, Impulsive. During the episode, Jake spilled all the details, revealing that Mike Tyson is suing him for allegedly using steroids ahead of their massive November fight. But here's the twist. Jake says it's all nonsense. According to Jake, the accusations are completely false. He insists he's never touched steroids and claims the entire situation is built on contamination, cheating, and lies. In his own words, "I've never taken steroids in my life, bro. This is insane. They're trying to ruin me, but I'm going to prove them all wrong." It's a bold claim in the middle of what's already one of the most hyped-up fights of the year. Now, with a lawsuit, accusations, and reputations on the line, the tension between Jake Paul and Mike Tyson just went from fight hype to full-blown war.
I'm a fat bitch. I don't do steroids, and I take it as a compliment because there's no other excuse to me knocking out all of your champions.
Tyson's not only coming for Jake in the ring, he's coming for his wallet and reputation too. According to reports, Tyson caught wind of allegations that Jake may be juicing, looking for an unfair edge before stepping into the ring. And let's just say, Iron Mike isn't taking that lightly. Tyson is a living legend, a fighter whose entire legacy is built on raw, natural talent, unmatched power, and a no-nonsense approach to the sport. If there's one thing he won't stand for, it's cheating, especially not in the sport that made him an icon. Let's be real, Tyson's seen it all in the boxing world. He's fought the toughest, faced the dirtiest, and come out swinging every time. So if Jake Paul thinks he can cut corners and get away with it, he's got another thing coming. Mike's message is loud and clear. You don't disrespect the game, not on his watch.
And it goes back to people just attacking Jake Paul and wanting to see me fail.
Jake Paul looked fired up as he opened up about the lawsuit, calling it a total blindsiding move, especially from someone he once looked up to. That's right, Mike Tyson, one of Jake's childhood idols, has now completely turned on him. And Jake? He's stunned. But here's where things start to get a little suspicious. Fans have been whispering for months, raising eyebrows at Jake's sudden transformation. Let's be honest, he went from YouTuber turned boxer to knocking out legit fighters and packing on serious muscle in record time. Impressive? Absolutely. But also, a little too fast, a little too clean. You can't help but wonder. Apparently, Mike Tyson isn't just wondering. He's accusing. The boxing legend claims he has actual proof that Jake has been juicing, taking banned substances to gain an unfair edge in the ring. Now, on paper, Jake looks like a rising powerhouse. Out of 11 fights, he's secured 10 wins, 7 of them by TKO. That's a stat line that screams dominance. But when you scratch beneath the surface, things start to look a little shaky. People aren't just cheering for Jake's wins anymore. They're questioning them. 7 TKOs, in that short of a span, against seasoned opponents? For many in the boxing world, it's starting to seem too good to be true. The question now isn't just how Jake is winning, it's why. And let's not forget the cloud of controversy surrounding his recent bout with Mike Perry. The moment the fight ended, rumors exploded. Whispers of bribery, corruption, even rigged outcomes. Did Jake grease the wheels to keep his streak alive? Some think so. Even Perry mentioned that Jake came in overweight, adding more fuel to the fire. So now Jake's not just defending his undefeated image, he's fighting for his credibility. With Tyson breathing down his neck and the boxing world watching closely, this isn't just another fight. It's a reckoning.
185, I'm damn near perfect here. Perfect platinum at 185. So Darren Till, he ain't gonna answer that call because he had time off too. Jake Paul, 230 pounds. Do I need to put some weight on and go fight somebody? Who? I'll fight anybody. Bare knuckle, they won't come do it with me. So what do I gotta do a star is born. I'm in Hollywood right now, bro. Put me in the movies. Don't nobody want this.
It sounds like something out of a cheesy sports movie, but in the world of boxing, where money, fame, and ego reign supreme, anything is possible. And just the fact that these rumors exist is enough to cast a dark shadow over Jake Paul's so-called winning streak. Winning fair and square is one thing, but when there's talk of shady deals, rigged fights, and behind-the-scenes corruption, That's a whole different ball game. Now, let's break down what a TKO, a technical knockout, actually means. It's when the referee steps in and calls the fight, usually because a fighter's no longer defending themselves or has taken too much damage to safely continue. It's not a clean one-punch knockout, it's a safety call. And here's the thing, Mike Tyson hates that. In an interview from August 12, 2024, Tyson didn't mince words. He called TKO wins exactly what he thinks they are. A cop-out, a way to avoid the real test of a fighter's mettle. To Tyson, a TKO isn't victory. It's the ref stepping in before the real fight even starts, before things get gritty, before one man proves he's got more than just hype. And when it comes to Jake Paul, with 7 of his 10 wins coming by TKO, Tyson's not impressed, not even close. He sees it as a sign of weakness, not strength, a shortcut. A way to avoid answering the real question, can you actually finish a fight like a true champion? In Tyson's book, a real win is when your opponent is flat on the canvas. No debate, no ref, no excuses. Anything less doesn't count. And that brings us to Tyson's latest power move, a bold demand that could flip the entire fight on its head. During a press conference on August 22, 2024, at the MGM Grand in Las Vegas, Tyson didn't just talk, he laid down the law. This fight will be decided by knockout. No TKOs, no referee saves, period. This, my friends, is a game changer, especially for Jake Paul. A KO-only rule means one thing. You've got to hit hard enough to end it. No ifs, ands, or buts. You either drop your opponent, or you don't win. By eliminating the safety net of a TKO, Tyson is raising the bar and forcing Jake to do something he's never really had to do. Finish a fight, the old school way. This isn't just a boxing match anymore. It's a gut check. A raw, no-excuses test of power, precision, and heart. Tyson's not just challenging Jake's skills, he's challenging his legitimacy. Now we find out, is Jake Paul a real contender, or just a carefully marketed illusion?
The shit talkers get all the money. The shit talkers get all the attention.
Yeah.
The shit talkers get everything. We get a bad rap, but we get everything else.
Let's be real. This KO-only rule has Jake sweating bullets. He was riding high, talking big like he was untouchable. But now, reality just slapped him in the face. Word on the street is that his camp is in full-blown panic mode, and honestly, it makes sense. Jake Paul has built his entire boxing rep on TKO victories, where the ref steps in before things get too dangerous. But with that safety net gone, he's stepping into completely uncharted territory. This isn't about landing a couple flashy punches and letting the officials clean it up. This is about putting a man down, for good. A clean, undeniable knockout. That takes raw power, perfect timing, and real heart. And now, Jake's got to prove he actually has all three. But Tyson didn't stop there. On August 26, 2024, just days after enforcing the KO-only rule, he dropped another bomb. Jake will be subject to random drug testing in the final week leading up to the fight. No warning, no schedule, no hiding. For Jake, that's nothing short of a nightmare. And the fight world noticed. Even Dana White weighed in, turning heads when he said, "If Jake's clean, he's got nothing to worry about. But if Tyson's, right? Then Jake's entire boxing image goes up in smoke." Now Jake's not just fighting for a win, he's fighting to keep his reputation from crashing down around him.
I believe that you're a cheater, and I believe that you use steroids. So I want to randomly steroid test you.
Jake Paul has been under the microscope for months, fans and critics alike questioning his sudden muscle gains and unreal stamina. Whispers have been growing louder. Is Jake really as natural as he claims? Now, with the threat of random drug testing hanging over his head, Jake's got nowhere to hide. There's no backdoor, no way to prep for a test that could hit at any moment. The uncertainty alone is enough to rattle even the most confident fighter. And how did Jake respond? He didn't dodge, he didn't deflect. He stepped up, or at least tried to. But whether it was confidence or panic behind his words, well, that's up for debate. Jake Paul has been under the microscope for months, fans and critics alike questioning his sudden muscle gains and unreal stamina. Whispers have been growing louder. Is Jake really as natural as he claims? Now, with the threat of random drug testing hanging over his head, Jake's got nowhere to hide. There's no backdoor, no way to prep for a test that could hit at any moment. The uncertainty alone is enough to rattle even the most confident fighter. And how did Jake respond? He didn't dodge. He didn't deflect. He stepped up, or at least tried to. But whether it was confidence or panic behind his words, well, that's up for debate.
You take it, I don't know. Whoa. No, I'm just messing with you.
This nigga looks like a hot pocket, bro. Everyone says he be doing type of PEDs and I'll be in a crib.
Tyson's concerns about Jake's physical condition aren't just for show. They're rooted in what fans are seeing with their own eyes. Lately, Jake's once chiseled physique has been looking a little softer, a little less fight-ready. Instead of grinding it out in the gym, he's been spotted more at parties, flanked by security, living the high life. His stamina being called into question. His focus looking shaky. And slowly but surely, fans are starting to notice Jake Paul doesn't look like the machine he used to be.
Be in good shape because your health depends on it.
Hey, you're the one that wanted 8 2-minute rounds.
Tyson's not just throwing shade, he's throwing down the gauntlet. His message to Jake is crystal clear. Get serious or get steamrolled. And then there's Jake Paul, once the golden boy of boxing's influencer wave, now looking, well, a little rough around the edges. The sculpted physique that once turned heads? It's seen better days. This isn't just rumor mill talk. It's right there in the footage. Back on April 10th, 2024, during a training session in Miami, cameras caught Jake looking noticeably heavier. Like he'd been logging more hours at the buffet than the boxing gym. Those once shredded abs, they're starting to resemble marshmallows. And fans are taking notice. For a guy who built his image on athleticism and intimidation, that's a serious red flag. And with Tyson coming in laser-focused, Jake's current form might be his biggest opponent yet.
If he's in his prime, he's fat. He should be lean and mean. He's fat and funky. I saw him with his shirt off the other day. He's fat. I thought, did you start training already?
Buster Douglas was fat, am I right?
I know, but you're no Buster Douglas. He's not going to win.
But this isn't just about Jake packing on a few extra pounds. It's a glaring signal that something's seriously off in his training camp. According to insiders, Jake's been struggling to keep up with the demands of elite-level preparation. And that added weight. It's not just cosmetic, it's a red flag. We're talking about declining muscle tone, subpar conditioning, and worst of all, a noticeable dip in commitment. It's like the fire that once fueled Jake's rise in boxing has burned out, replaced by a false sense of security that his name alone will carry him through. And of course, Mike Tyson had something to say about it. Because when does Iron Mike ever stay quiet? At a press conference on the August 18th, 2024, Tyson unleashed one of his signature reality checks. Practically, we're ripping into Jake Young with the kind of blunt honesty only he can deliver.
Very scareful, yeah.
But Tyson didn't stop at calling out Jake's soft new look. He doubled down with a brutal reality check that likely sent a chill down Jake's spine. Tyson reminded everyone that his punches aren't just powerful. They're pinpoint, accurate, devastating, and backed by decades of brutal experience. If Jake doesn't get serious, really serious, he's not just risking a loss. He's risking waking up on the canvas, wondering what hit him. And Tyson wasn't just talking to Jake. He had some sharp words for the doubters, too. The ones questioning whether a 58-year-old legend still has what it takes. While most people his age are kicking back in retirement, Tyson's still in the trenches, training like a beast and proving once again that age is just a number. At that same August 23rd press conference, Tyson silenced the room with a single line aimed straight at his critics, a bold, defiant statement that made one thing clear. He's not done yet.
If you think I'm too old for this fight, you need to come tell me in my face. Whoa.
Talk about a mic drop moment. You could almost hear the nervous gulps echo through the room. Tyson wasn't just making a statement. He was laying down a challenge, loud and clear. And let's be real, who's bold enough to take that? Nobody in their right mind would dare question Tyson's ability to his face, especially not when he's staring you down with that unmistakable fire in his eyes.